What is up, Mr. Crazy 1870? I'm back with my full review of the iPad Pro. Now, I want to apologize. I didn't get a chance to get the small version and compare it, unfortunately, which super sucks. I hate when I can't do things and I have so many ideas, but nonetheless, it is what it is. So, but I will give you my full experience with this size. Now, with this size, obviously, you're going to get a lot more screen real estate. I like the squarish design of the iPad Pro. I mean, given the fact that it is thinner and it is lighter than the previous gen model, it doesn't still take the fact that if you're using this in a couch, in the bed, one-handed mode, whether it be holding the iPad and just scrolling up, reading an article, it's gonna cause a little bit of strain in your hand. So you might just find yourself even having to stand up and pretty much continue using the iPad. So that's where the small version of the iPad Pro comes in. You're gonna find 4 speakers. You're gonna find 2 at the bottom and 2 at the top. And as a dad, I usually give my iPad to my daughters for them to watch their cartoons while I'm watching a show in the living room. And to be 100% honest with you guys, I found myself having to tell her or tell them to kind of lower it down a little bit because these things can get pretty loud. So I think that when it comes to audio, whether you're watching a movie or you're watching a YouTube video, I don't think that you're gonna have any type of complaints or issues when it comes to audio quality coming from the iPad Pro. You also have that liquid Retina LCD panel with the res of 2732 by 2048. Yes, it would have been nice to see an OLED panel on the iPad Pro. It is what it is. Nonetheless, it's still a good screen. It's bright, it's colorful, and most important, you're still gonna enjoy whatever media consumption content that you're doing on the iPad Pro. Now, what you are gonna notice, and maybe you might find it a little bit annoying, is all those fingerprint smudges. Honestly, at the beginning, I was like, man, that thing looks pretty whack. But I mean, just throw some glass cleaner, spray a little bit on it, use a microfiber cloth, clean it down. It'll leave it as good as new. Another cool feature that they brought to the iPad is face unlock, and it just makes everything so smooth. I mean, I pretty much wake up every morning and wake up my device, swipe up, and bang, bang, we're in the iPad. Super smooth, super fast, super easy. I hardly ever put my actual pin to get into the iPad. It's as simple as pick it up, swipe up, and you're in. Although you have to kind of be careful. You know, sometimes depending on how you're holding the iPad or whatever, you can kind of cover the camera. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. So you might encounter that it's not going to be working because you're probably covering the camera. So that's just something to keep in mind. So under the hood, you do have that A12X Bionic chip, which there's no doubt that it is a pretty fast device. I mean, it's also even scoring higher than some of the laptops out there. So I tried it. I tried video editing via an app called LumaFusion, which, by the way, is a really good app. In case, you know, you're the one or that type of person that edits on the iPad Pro. And it's kind of crazy, and it's kind of a trip how it just handles video clips like nothing. There's no lag, there's no stutter, there's nothing. I mean, everything was smooth. Although it is a little bit of a learning curve, obviously, when you're trying to edit on the iPad, or you're just used to video editing like on a computer, and when you're trying to edit on the iPad Pro, a little bit of a learning curve. But nonetheless, I mean, performance-wise, same thing goes with gaming. I mean, everything is pretty smooth. So as far as performance goes, I don't think that you're gonna have any type of issues with anything. It's probably gonna be able to handle anything that you throw at it. So to transfer footage into the iPad Pro, whether it be images or video, honestly, it was a little bit of a workaround. I thought it was gonna be pretty much plug and play, and it was gonna be a smooth process. Well, it wasn't. I have a Sony a6500, and I actually had to go get a couple connectors in order for me to transfer video into my iPad Pro via the camera. Now, I tried it with my SD card to USB-C, little connector here, and the only thing that popped up was pretty much images. So, like I said, it was a little bit of a process and a workaround in order for me to get video content onto the iPad Pro. Again, not a big deal. I was just expecting it to be a lot more easier, more convenient, but in all reality, it really wasn't. Now, I think that for different types of cameras, it's different. I know for Sony cameras, I know for Canon cameras, it might be another process, but at least within my experience, it was a little bit of a workaround. Now, what's really cool is that you can actually hook up your phone in case you're running low on battery and charge it via the iPad Pro. Now, that's a really cool, handy feature that you have available on the iPad. Now, as far as battery life, I got a couple days of use. I pretty much would come home from work and lounge around with the iPad Pro. So I would use it to catch a couple movies, read a couple articles, catch up on my channel, read a couple comments. Pretty much light use, then you're probably gonna get a couple days of battery life, depending on how you use it. Now, if you use it heavily, whether it be video editing, probably editing some images, then you might cut down on the battery life. So again, it really all depends on how you use the iPad. You also have the Apple Pencil, which works well, and you could get some pretty cool things done. I mean, if you're a graphic designer, if you're an artist, if you're a tattoo artist, depending on what you do. You also have the keyboard cover case. Honestly, I didn't get it because I'm not that type of person that uses a keyboard or writes a lot. So that's the only reason why I didn't get it. But nonetheless, you do have that option as well. So again, it really all depends on what you're looking to do with the iPad Pro, and it might work for you, it might not, but that you could get some really powerful stuff done on the iPad Pro, that is for sure. I mean, it is definitely a no-brainer. For me, I think it's still kind of limited. I would much rather go with the MacBook Air than the iPad Pro, but still jump on the iPad Pro for just a media consumption device. Maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, video editing, picture editing maybe, but mainly it would probably just be chilling in the living room for the family. So those are my thoughts on the iPad Pro. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to check out the 2 latest videos. Follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. Once again, thank you guys so much for all the support. I'm planning a future giveaway soon, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.